Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Real Madrid have knocked out Borussia Dortmund from the Club World Cup as they defeat them 3-2 in the quarterfinals of the tournament and qualify for the semi-finals where they will face PSG, who defeated Bayern Munich early on in the day. I mean, it was a complete dominant performance from Real Madrid. The score might read, 3-2, but it does not give the entirety of that picture. Real Madrid were so good in that game. I mean, if I'm PSG, first of all, I would be scared. I think that game is going to be, in my opinion, the game of the tournament. PSG, the way they have played throughout this season, they have been immense. They have been so good to watch the entirety of this season. And Real Madrid, since Xavi Alonso has come on, this tournament, they have been so good. The way that Real Madrid moves the ball, the way that everybody is available for the pass, the way how fast they are, how quick they are with their passing. You wouldn't believe that it's the same Real Madrid who are, they're the same players who are playing under Carlo Ancelotti. The difference is astronomical, to be very honest with you. And Xavi Alonso is already I that's why I keep on saying that Real Madrid are lucky in a way that they are getting such a competitive tournament before playing in La Liga, because they are already going to know how they want to play, and the players are going to be well drilled under Xavi Alonso's plan. So it is going to be really easy for them to adapt when they start La Liga. And they showed today again. I mean, the way that when they don't, firstly on the ball they are so good. As I said, they are making those runs. They are always, they are every player is available for the pass. If they are in midfield, a player literally has 4 options where he we can send a pass to. And always Real Madrid are playing like that since this tournament. And off the ball, I mean, the pressing that they are doing, you couldn't believe that this is the same Real Madrid team who was playing under Carlo Ancelotti a month and a half back. Under Ancelotti, unfortunately, they were so slow. They were so lethargic. And they barely moved anything. Under Xavi Alonso, every one of them, it doesn't really matter whether you're Kylian Mbappe or whether you're Vinicius Junior. You need to defend. You need to go out. You need to mark your man. You need to press high as much as possible. And it is, getting them results. The way that they are playing, I mean, it is just a beautiful to watch. That one of the reasons that why Leverkusen was so interesting to watch, why Leverkusen's games were really entertaining under Xavi Alonso, was because of how they played. And now he's bringing in this at Real Madrid with players with a score that is much better than what he had at Leverkusen, and I think that is going to be something really special next season for La Liga. I mean, today as well, I mean, for first half, Borussia Dortmund really couldn't get the ball. They had very little of the ball, and whenever they had the ball, they barely created anything. I mean, there was nothing really from Borussia Dortmund in that first half. Second half, they had the ball, but unfortunately, they were toothless. There was no urgency. It was the complete opposite of the way that Real Madrid were playing. Borussia Dortmund were completely opposite to in their approach to the game, which I was quite surprised. Where Real Madrid were trying to play those quick passes, trying showing the urgency, trying to increase the pace of the game, trying to play with a high tempo. Dortmund, on the other hand, continuously wanted to slow the game down. They wanted to in a way frustrate Real Madrid, but unfortunately for them, they were not really able to do that. The moment they conceded that second goal, I mean, Niko Kovac's game plan went out of the window. They had to change it completely differently. And in the second half, Real Madrid were really happy to let Borussia Dortmund have the ball, because, as I said, they were not really doing anything with it. And the moment that Real Madrid were getting the ball, there was always a fear that Real Madrid are going to concede, and they were always a threat of Borussia Dortmund conceding the goal. Whereas if Dortmund had the ball, there was no threat, there was no fear for Real Madrid that they are going to consider anything. It was very easy. I mean, the first goal that Borussia Dortmund scored, it was in the 90th minute, and that too because of a bad clearance from Real Madrid. Maximilian Bayer scores that goal. It becomes a 2-1, and then sort of the drama happened. It's a weird game, football. If all that drama that happened in the last 8-10 minutes, if this happens 10 minutes before, then we would have had quite an interesting end to the game. We already had quite an interesting end, but then that would have elevated things. It was a 2-0 for the majority of that game. They get that goal 2-1, then Kylian Mbappe scores. I mean, that goal that Kylian Mbappe scored, I mean, it was simply sensational in a way. It shows, and it felt like he was telling everybody, okay, Gonzalo Garcia is scoring the goals, he's playing really good and whatnot, but I'm Kylian fucking Mbappe, I'm still here, I'm the main guy. Don't forget about me. I mean, and of course he did that celebration, in memory of Diego Jota, and and it was a great thing to do. It was a great gesture. But the way that he scored the goal, it shows, why he is the main man. And then that's incident, the penalty incident happens with Hoyland. With Gerasi, and all of that happened, and Real Madrid get down to 10 men. Borussia Dortmund scored the penalty. I mean, this is a tough one, to be very honest with you. I personally think it was not a red card. I'll be very honest with you. I think they should have given the penalty, and it should have been a yellow card for Hoyland. I don't think he deserved that red card. I don't think it was a malicious attempt. I don't think it was such a bad tackle that you had to go ahead and send him up. I don't really believe that. I think a yellow card and a penalty would have been a fine, and I think that would have been the fair decision, because now the poor guy is going to miss the semi-finals, and he's an important player. I mean, when he was signing for Real Madrid, I said that Real Madrid signing a gem. He's so underrated. Nobody has really paid that much attention. If you're not really watched Premier League, you wouldn't know how good he is. I mean, always our last out of 38 games, about 20 games he was in the team of the week. That's how good he was for for Bournemouth. And so for Real Madrid to go and get him in the way that he has performed, I mean, you wouldn't believe that this is his first season and these are his first few games for Real Madrid. That's how good he is. So he's going to be a big miss in the semi-final for Real Madrid. And as he said, I don't think it was a red card. I think it should have been a yellow card, and it was a penalty. Like, there is no question about that. But I think the red card was a bit harsh. But Agolesi steps up, he scores the goal, it becomes a 3-2. But it didn't really matter. That's what I said. It was so late in the game. It was 97, 98 minutes. If this happens in 86, 87th minute, then Borussia Dortmund would have had a big chance. They would have caught in extra minutes, and then we would have had an even more exciting and interesting end. But in my opinion, in the end, I think the best team won. The correct team won, because I mean, the Real Madrid were too good, and they were a class above Borussia Dortmund. And I'll be very honest with Borussia Dortmund. I don't know whether it's a it's the fitness issue, whether they are they are tired and whatnot, because their performance was not up to the mark, and they really need to buckle up if they really want to go ahead and challenge for the title in Bundesliga. Performances like this, I mean, it will not be an easy season for them, and they are going to struggle like they did last season. So they really need to buckle up, because it was quite a bad performance. I'll be very honest. I mean, they were nowhere near the class of Real Madrid. It was a really poor game. I think it was a very easy win for Real Madrid. As I said, the scoreline is not going to show that, it's not going to reflect that, but it was a very easy and convincing win. And I think that semi-final between Real Madrid and PSG, that is going to be one hell of a game. And in my opinion, whoever wins that game is going to become the champion, who is going to win the Club World Cup. I'm being bold here, but I don't think the teams on the other side of the bracket, whoever comes into the final, I don't think they are going to defeat Real Madrid or PSG. So for me, I think that the next game, the semi-final between Real Madrid and PSG, it's going to be so huge, and I think that's going to be quite an interesting game. But that's what it is for tonight. Congratulations to Real Madrid qualifying for the next round, and commiserations to Borussia Dortmund. That's for me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Real Madrid's performance, Dortmund's performance ahead of the next season. As Madrid fans, are you happy with the team, how they are playing under Xabi Alonso, and what do you think, was that a red card for Hoyland or not? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of July, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.